long-term study, but I ended up finding some videos online that were way easier to understand the basics. Shout out to Tagalog Time with Pat, she was holding it down. I didn't sign up for any tutoring, but I was able to check my notes with
Section 3. You will hear two psychology students called Sarah and Mike discussing their research on music and psychology with a lecturer. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 24. Now listen carefully and answer questions 21 to 24.
Hi, Sarah. Hi, Mike. Now, I don't have long to discuss this today. This is your research into the relationship between psychology and music, isn't it?
Yes, that's right.
We found a recent study by a Professor North in the UK. Experts have always suspected there were similarities between fans of certain music types. But this study was able to prove that musical taste
about the earlier research that has been done in this area. We've printed out pages and pages here.
Yes, I was expecting to find some fascinating information here, but it's a bit dull, especially all those statistics.
I agree. We have to mention it first, so we'll just have to try and make it sound noteworthy.
Yes. Well, what about the findings of the study?
Well, you wanted to focus on the similarities you found between various music lovers, and I wanted to show the opposite view and see how they differ.
Well, they're both important, so maybe we could include the two different points of view.
Yes, that could work. Let's do it independently then, before we put our information together. We probably have enough for that section then.
Great. Now, market research. There are so many implications of how this could be used in a marketing situation.
Yes, but we just don't have all the data yet, and we don't know when it's going to be available.
Okay, well, let's point that out, but present it briefly anyway.
Good idea. The next one was limitations of the study. Did you look into that?
I did. I think because Professor North wrote this himself, there's not much here and it might not be very objective.
Yes, we need to find out how other researchers view the study to see if there's been any criticism of it.
All right.
And finally, future research. That seems like a good way to end our presentation.
It would be, but his suggestions are too far removed from our original topic. They concentrate too much on music.
Yes, let's find a way to include more psychology so it relates better to our course.
Good idea. So, what do you think about saying?
That is the end of section 3. You now have half a minute to check your.
It's certainly going to generate a lot of discussion among your classmates when you present it. I'm pleased.
Yes, they also had to say who they associate that music with now. For example, a parent or a romantic partner. Professor North, but people from all over the world were involved in this one, so it's the scale of the study that makes it significant. The participants were asked to describe themselves during the study, so it's only their opinion of their personality rather than objective fact.
Well, that's certain.
There are just too many facts here at the moment.
I was expecting to find some fascinating information here, but it's a bit dull, especially all those statistics.
I agree.
So maybe we could include the two different points of view.
Yes, that. Yes, but we just don't have all the data yet, and we don't know when it's going to be available.
Okay.
Yes, we need to find out how other researchers view the study to see if there's been any criticism of it.
All right.
Yes, but we just don't have all the data. Yes, we need to find out how other researchers view the study to see if there's been any criticism of it.
All right.
Let's find a way to include more psychology so it relates better to our course.
Good idea.
now turn to Section 4 on page 7. Section 4. You will hear a university lecturer talking to students about the world's oldest mechanical computer, which is called the Antikythera mechanism. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 40 on page 7. Now listen carefully and answer questions 31 to 40.
Today, I'm going to talk about what is sometimes described as the world's oldest mechanical computer, the Antikythera mechanism. This device was able to calculate where the sun, moon, and planets would be in the sky on any date in the past or future. It has transformed our understanding both of the world of ancient Greece and of the history of science. The mechanism was discovered in 1900 at the bottom of the sea off the Greek island of Antikythera, hence the name by which it's now known. It was in the cargo of a ship that sank about 2,100 years ago. Divers brought various items to the surface, and they were taken to a museum for examination. One item was assumed to be a lump of rock. However, a few months later, the object started splitting, and a museum curator realized that it was actually something man-made, covered with shells and other objects from the sea. Further investigation revealed that it was in fact some sort of mechanism, and they decided to call it the Antikythera mechanism. Although it was badly damaged, it had survived in 3 main parts and around 80 smaller fragments. The Antikythera mechanism has been studied a great deal since its discovery, and particularly in recent years, when highly sophisticated equipment has been available to analyze it. One machine, called a dome, can surround a sample and take photographs with the light coming from slightly different angles. This has made far more of the inscriptions on the mechanism legible, even though they're faded and worn. Another state-of-the-art machine, the Blade Runner, has been used to take X-rays which show parts of the mechanism that would otherwise be invisible. Despite weighing nearly 8 tons, it was transported from its place of manufacture to Greece, as the Antikythera mechanism is too fragile to be moved from there. The Blade Runner was originally designed to examine engines for cracks, and can work at an accuracy of less than 1/10 of a millimeter. It seems the device was originally about 33 centimeters high, 17 centimeters wide, and 9 centimeters thick. It consisted of at least 30 metal gear wheels, that is, wheels which interlocked with each other. The surfaces of the gear wheels were inscribed with the names of the months, explanations of how the different parts of the device were to be operated, and other information. These gear wheels, in turn, operated small movable models of the sun, moon, and the 5 planets that were known to the ancient Greeks. The mechanism is thought to have been mounted in a frame for which wood was used. So what was the Antikythera mechanism used for? It clearly had an astronomical function. The person using the device simply rotated a handle to operate the gear wheels. These engaged with each other to move the sun, moon, and planets around the Earth to show how they would appear on whatever particular date the operator was interested in, which could be years into the future. Bearing in mind that the ancient Greeks believed the sun and planets all revolved around the Earth, their movements are Hall, the mechanism also showed when an eclipse was going to take place. This was very important in the ancient world, and being able to predict this accurately would have given the user great power. The mechanism probably also helped in planning the timing of festivals, both agricultural and religious, by acting as a kind of calendar of events. Surprisingly, to the best of our knowledge, no device equaled the complexity of the Antikythera mechanism for at least 1,000 years afterwards. The ideas seem to have survived in some form, however, particularly in the Byzantine Empire of the Eastern Mediterranean. Around the 13th or 14th century, knowledge of the technology seems to have reached Western Europe, and a large number of clocks were made, providing astronomical information as well as showing the time of day. It's hard to believe that nothing reached the sophistication of the Antikythera mechanism for 1,000 years. Yet that might well be the case, and that has implications for our understanding of how scientific knowledge progresses.
That is the end of section 4. You now have half a minute to check your answers.
One item was assumed to be a lump of rock. This has made far more of the inscriptions on the mechanism legible, even though they're faded and worn. The Blade Runner was originally designed to examine engines for cracks, and it can work at an accuracy of less than 1/10 of a millimeter. It consisted of at least 30 metal gear wheels, that is, wheels which interlocked with each other. The mechanism is thought to have been mounted in a frame for which wood was used. The person using the device simply rotated a handle to operate the gear wheels. It was in the cargo of a ship that sank about 2,100 years ago. Divers brought various items to the surface, and they were taken to a museum for examination. One item was assumed to be a lump of rock. However, a few months later, the object started splitting, and a museum curator realized that it was actually something man-made, covered with shells and other objects from the sea. Further investigation revealed that it was in fact some sort of mechanism, and they decided to call it the Antikythera mechanism. Although it was badly damaged, it had survived in 3 main parts and around 80 smaller fragments. The Antikythera mechanism has been studied a great deal since its discovery, and particularly in recent years, when highly sophisticated equipment has been available to analyze it. One machine, called a dome, can surround a sample and take photographs with the light coming from slightly different angles. This has made far more of the inscriptions which wood was used. So what was the Antikythera mechanism used for? It clearly had an astronomical function. The person using the device simply rotated a handle to operate the gear wheels. These engaged with each other to move the sun around the 13th or 14th century. Knowledge of the technology seems to have reached Western Europe, and a large number of clocks were made, providing astronomical information, as well as showing the time of day.
Hi, my name is. Hello. Maybe it's a little bit small, but I think that is enough for me. Like it's. Oh my goodness, I make a live stream, so maybe it's a little bit hard. Then for this is 40 minutes. Maybe I think this is okay. Is it okay? Maybe I will make a speaking mock test right now. I'm not sure about my fluency, my pronunciation, but a lot of my friends got 8.5 overall and 8 in speaking. So I have to tell myself that I have to try a lot again and again and again until I got this. Just I think practice make perfect. So I love speaking. Maybe listening and speaking is my strength. But recently I love writing. Reading? Do you love reading? I don't know, for skill. I just try to practice every day because it's a good way for me to brainstorm the ideas. Okay, so I will take a phone test. You have 20 seconds to speak, and to complete the mock test speaking you must follow the access to your system microphone, and also remember to click the button test move microphone below to start. So let's start now. To speak and to complete the mock test speaking you must follow the access to your system microphone, and also remember to click the button test move microphone below to start.
Do you like chatting with friends?
Well, of course, I love chatting with my friend, especially face to face. Compared to chat on online platforms such as Messenger, Facebook, Instagram, I think it's like a interaction. Instead of that, I lean towards chatting face to face with my friends. Any topics, for example, my house, my study, my work, and I suppose it's a good way for me to keep contact with my friend and build our relationship.
Do you prefer to chat with a group of people or with only one friend?
I would say I lean toward towards chat with a group of people because it would be more fun and we can have hilarious conversation. For example, whenever I have leisure time, I would go out and hang out with my friend to talk about spontaneous conversation, and with a group of friends it's much more funnier and provide me a sense of belonging a group compared to speaking and talking with a
Do you
friend.
prefer to communicate face to face or via social media?
I would say I lean towards communicating face to face because, as I mentioned before, when I meet in person communication, I would be more the speak my speech would be more natural and I can see his or her emotion feelings, and sometimes I think that it would be beneficial for me to understand the
Do you argue with friends?
actually not often, but when I do have argument or conflict with my friend, we would come together and talk because I think it's a good way for me to talk with my friend to deal with the problems. But I guess it's not happened frequently because we have something in common. When we do have the conflict, maybe it would be
What
very
do you
big.
often carry with you?
I would say my smartphone. I carry my smartphone everywhere, like search for map, scan QR for depositing money, and also I think it would be very convenient for me to bring smartphone because it helped me to do the necessary stuff such as um, giving money and
What do you do if your item is heavy?
what? Can you repeat the question? What do I do if my item is heavy? Oh, that's an interesting question. I am the one who always bring the heavy thing with me because I think that I can use the stuff. For example, when I go to the coffee shop, I will carry a lot of heavy things, and I just carry it in a bag, plastic bag.
When you go to different places, do you carry different kinds of things?
I would say yes, of course. When I go out to different places, I do bring different stuff. For example, when I go for trekking, I would bring all the light and easy to use stuff. But when I hang out with my friend, like go to the beach for summer holiday, I would bring a lot of stuff such as clothes, makeup, skincare, and I think it depends on the situation.
How would you remind yourself of something you need to bring?
I would say I remind myself to bring the necessary item or stuff by noting down. Like I make a to-do list on my Google Keep on my Notion, or the just a tracking list that I already planned before. And then when I bring the item, I will put a tick to the item, and if this list make me feel control out my.
How important are friends to you?
I would say friends plays an important role in my daily life, and they have helped me a lot when I'm in ups and down, especially when I'm in bad mood and lost direction. I used to remember vividly I got lost when I was graduate, and they are the one who can I can count on, and they help me to boost my mood, hang
Do
out
you
with
prefer to
me.
spend time with one friend or with a group of friends?
I would say I lean towards staying with a group of friends. As I mentioned before, it will be more funnier, and sometimes when we play game, a group of friends would much be beneficial for me because I think when play with a group of friends, it helped me to be engaged in such activity, and also
Would you invite friends to your home?
I would say yes, of course. If I have an opportunity to invite my friends to my birthday party or any social, I mean the special events, my friends used to go to my home to visit when I was in university, and we had a good time together, eat together, and take a lot of photos. I think would be very funny.
Is there a difference between where you meet friends now and where you used to meet them in the past?
In the past, I meet them frequently, like every week, but right now, I have to go to work, and my friends work is workaholic. So I think we just met once a month, not frequently as before. Normally we go and hang out. There are big difference, but the way we keep contact via online platform or in person communi- in-
Describe an interesting building you saw during a trip.
Alright, so when it comes to interesting building that I saw during a trip, I would say I mentioned the landmark 28, which is located in Ho Chi Minh City, and I would say the reason why I chose this building because it was really interesting. First of all, it was my first time going to landmark. In the past, I just saw a lot of buildings in Hanoi, and this landmark is a high-rise building equipped with state-of-the-art facilities and very modern. I was mesmerized by how high it is, many floors, many modern facility, and I guess with the development of technology and the way people construct the building, like it's the complex was so uh like surprised, and I see a lot of different facility there such as gym, swimming pool. uh, I also had an opportunity to go to the rooftop, went at a coffee shop in the tallest floor, and I was really happy and very like on cloud nine because I can see the sunset on the rooftop, and I'm addicted to the building. I took photography of this building, and it was really nice. In the future, maybe I will visit the landmark 2080 to in the future because I think not only I can have a lot of memories and picture here, but I also can see. Mm, oh my goodness, it's not quite good. Maybe I'm a little bit nervous. Alright.
Should all scenic spots charge an entry fee?
I think that it would be very necessary that the scenic spot, I mean the scenery landscape, should charge an entry fee because if I still remember, if I'm not mistaken, I used to go to Hadang Look and Sapa, which has a lot of beautiful destination, and there a fee like 20 to 30k for the entrance, and I think it would be very important to develop the ecotourism, and also the government can use this money to donate and do the charity, like a kind of volunteering activities.
Is visiting scenic spots the best choice for us while traveling?
I would say yes, of course, visiting a scenic sport is the best choice for us while traveling because not only we can observe and see the beautiful view with scenery landscape in front of our eyes, but also we can take a lot of photo while traveling. It's a good way for us to create the unforgettable memorable trip. And furthermore, I would say visiting scenery sport the best choice. We don't have to search for Google Map and look through a lot of other destination because it was really beautiful.
Why do some people like to live in big cities?
I think there are several reasons why people want to live in the city. First of all, is its convenience. Like compared to the rural area, urban metropolis provide a lot of state-of-the-art modern and offer the I mean the facility that are very modern, hospital, school, entertainment, something like that. Compared to countryside, is a little bit boring because no entertainment at all. Furthermore, I think the second reason is especially for younger generation, like take Hanoi as an
Is it
example.
necessary for tourists to go to visit landmarks when traveling in a place?
I would say it would be really essential for tourists to go to visit landmark when traveling in a place. Like I have a chance to visit landmark 2082 in Ho Chi Minh City, and when I went to Thailand, I have a chance to visit it. It's not only very modern, but also give me the feeling like overwhelmed with high-rise floor and building, very modern, very good, and the second is that it could provide me with modern equipments.
Which do most people prefer, living in a bungalow or in a tall building?
I would say each one has own its perk. For the most part, maybe people would prefer living in a bungalow, but from my viewpoint, I would lean towards a tall buildings because I think I have lived in tall building. I mean the apartment. I settled down for 5 years, and I don't want to change because most people prefer bungalow because of its convenient and very exorbitant price. It also provides you the view, very beautiful view, and you can see, go sightseeing, and do everything you want. Some kind of that, and it would be real. Bungalow, for the most part, I don't know. Bungalow is very good. It's convenient. Maybe I have to chat with ChatGPT because it's She is my best friend. I mean the ChatGPT. Maybe my pronunciation, my grammatical range, my effort. Just try to speaking, writing, reading, listening. Today I took the listening and speaking and a little bit writing. Maybe 5 days left I will take the IELTS score. For sure it's not me. 안녕하세요. Say 안녕. Maybe for some say something. I want to play some piece of music, but maybe it's Jingle. Shinlu, Shinwu, Jinho. Who is he? I don't know. I just try to speak. 안녕하세요. I want to learn Korean after taking the IELTS test again because I just addicted to Korean, I guess. Maybe I'm not good enough, but I will try my best for sure. Lát thế. Rồi ơi. Mày đừng có mà lag nữa. 안녕하세요. 안녕하세요. this was maybe I should practice listening a little bit. I want to got 9 in listening, not 7, not 7.5. 6 minutes. You know, do you know what? Recently, I want to learn Korean, and I also decided cramming for the IELTS test. After taking, I will maintain the habit of learning English every day, but maybe in the future I want to learn Korean. And one special thing today is, you know, that is I will have a new nickname, Sarah Kim. I love my studying. I'm from Vietnam. I want to learn more about English, and I think it will be very necessary.
That I am indeed not a textbook person. They'd probably be better for long-term study, but I ended up finding some videos online that were way easier to understand the basics. Shout out to Tagalog Time with Pat, she was holding it down. I didn't sign up for any tutoring, but I was able to check my notes with my mom, which was extremely helpful. Learning a language is such an emotional roller coaster. One minute I think I'm doing good, and the next feels like, what the heck? Okay, I'm learning, and my head hurts. But we're getting there. For the next couple of days, I continued on while also starting to say things out loud. Okay, this is a text message I sent to.
Okay, this is a good way for me to practice listening by listening automatically. Like I subscribe a lot of YouTube channel which is available on online platform, and I guess it would be very necessary because recently I found it not very hard to learn. Full stuffing.
My mom, nagtatrabaho ngayon ako. Kumain ako ng spaghetti para tanghalian.
I eat
Accent is
spaghetti
so
for
cooked.
lunch.
But that was from memory. Okay, that was from memory. And my favorite, which was immersing myself more in the language. So I found this playlist literally.
Immerse yourself in English, in Korean, reading.
It's called Filipino Songs to Scream to, and honestly, straight up bangers on
Spotify.
this. I feel like it's good to find songs you want to belt out to. You'll not be hearing me sing in this video. I did not get that gene.
Do you know my dream? My dream is become a YouTuber, and I can tell everything in front of the camera. Like right now, I didn't show my face, but I do really want one day when I study abroad or when I travel abroad, I would really want to make an English videos or Korean vlog because it's always my dream. I want to talk. I want to share everything in my mind. I just IELTS is an academic journey, and you have to put a lot of effort and time and a little bit lucky if you want to get 8.5. But how you pronounce the word, how you want to figure out, you wake up very early to learn, or you want to stay up late. I don't know. Learning a new language in my 20s. note? Where's my note? Listening to some piece of music. Take note, eat, study, sleep. Roti.
Growing up in North America, I think everyone's relationship to their culture is a little different. I never felt removed enough to entirely question my background, but I also had my fair share of moments I felt inadequate to. My culture was a big part of my life growing up, especially through food and family and traditions. But when people ask me where I'm from, or meeting someone so naturally in tune, that's usually when I feel the distance the most. I can understand parts of it, but never all of it.
Nuance.
It's such a nuanced thing. Some people grow up fully fluent, some don't. Some people feel a strong gap, some barely feel it at all. And I feel like I'm sitting somewhere in the middle.
Somewhere in the middle,
Moments of
nowhere.
disconnect never felt super obvious or dramatic. It's more like not fully knowing what I'm missing. But I know there's some things that I don't have access to, and layers to this I don't quite have the words for. But I guess it doesn't always have to be like that either. Good morning, people. Our final test is tomorrow. And honestly, I think we can do good. We can salvage this. Seeing as though this was my last day of study, I had to put all my reservations behind me, no matter if I previously felt shy to practice speaking out loud. The plan was just to focus and review what I already did know up until that point, and hope for the best. Boom, I got a text. OMG. Today I'm going to ask my mom to test me and we can see my knowledge until now. I'm impressed with how much I've learned. However, I am shy to literally showcase it to all of you because what's impressive to me may not be impressive to you. I studied until pretty late last night. I also recorded myself saying these phrases. So let's see how much I've learned. I think I just need to say this with more confidence. Hope for the best. I told her to have some questions to ask me, so we'll see what I can do. We'll see.
Okay, so I think there are several reasons why introducing foreign language education at the primary school level is advantageous. It is true that children at this age are known for their ability to absorb knowledge. Given the optimal development of their brains, they learn quickly and retain information longer compared to other stages. Since learning another tongue is highly challenging given the need to adapt to a completely new set of grammatical and pronunciation rules, it requires both intellectual and ability and time availability as a result. Elementary school students are highly suitable for learning another language at this stage, helping them acquiring superior proficiency and leading to future success. How can I got 9 listening, 9 reading, 7.5 writing? Oh, it's hard, super hard. This live stream is a little bit loud because maybe I made live stream in the morning. So I want to introduce you guys a new book that is very popular for IELTS. That is IELTS writing, written by Huy For Room, who got 9 in IELTS. So this book have different method. I will tell you in a nutshell that it has 3 methods to understand this. The first of all is the temporal contrast analysis. Second is characteristic association. TCA, temporal contrast analysis, CTA, characteristic trait association, and the final step is context-based argument, CBA. I didn't analyze this, so I like this knowledge about this. There are several topic and prompt that you can practice for your writing. First of all, relate to the education, online learning. Second is the impact on children's behavior, social media, human interaction, robots, technology, advertising, consumer, transportation, urban life, investment in transportation, income gap and happiness, rising household waste problem, funding old buildings or new infrastructure, building the ideal society, and also decline in science education, supporting the elderly in retirement, in prison, and its impact on crime. So, what is your favorite TV program? I don't know. Recently, I watched a lot of K drama, and I think it would be very fascinating, I guess. For a long time, I want to master every language. I just want to be confident. British culture. My neighborhood, healthy, good habit, role model, hygiene, doing housework. Dynamic chart. If all people are no longer physical, mental, and able to look everything. an interactive learning environment, theoretical knowledge, and practical skills. Prestigious university, formal qualification, career prospect, education, extracurricular activity, knowledge, financial comfortable, well-educated, part-time job, horizon. So I don't know why this live stream is a little bit lag because maybe this is the first time I meet to live stream on a day, so my Mac is a little bit hot right now. So maybe I will stop this live stream for 1 hour because I studied 3 hours this morning, and I will be back tomorrow because I make live stream every day from I'm an early bird, so I often study the most productively is in the morning. So see you tomorrow. 1 minute left. I really appreciate that you are here. You being here and watch my videos, and I also really appreciate I built my channel when have no subscribe. I just make it to record my journey, so I think it would be really I really thank you from the bottom of my heart, and see you guys in the next video, I mean tomorrow.